A new year beckons at Wild Horse Pass as Phoenix Rising gets set to welcome in the USL's newest club. Monterey Bay FC begins its USL Championship journey tonight with familiar faces as Chris Cortez returns to Phoenix where he spent 3 seasons. As for Phoenix, Santi Mohar is coming off a career year and looking to spearhead the attack. The 2022 season gets underway next. It is time to kick off this 2022 USL Championship regular season. From Wild Horse Pass in Chandler, Arizona, Phoenix Rising plays host to Monterey Bay FC in their first ever game. The 2022 Phoenix Rising season presented by Equality Health. With Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us. A look at what is to come over the next few months. 27 teams, 2 conferences, a 34-game regular season, home and away within each conference. Top 7 teams will make the playoffs in each conference, and the number 1 seed earns that bye into the conference semifinals, with the championship final coming in November. But looking back at last season for Phoenix Rising, they exited the playoffs maybe a little bit earlier than they had hoped.
This team enters every single season, not only as a favorite, but with the aspirations to take down the title. Think about this. 50% of the time in the last 4 seasons, this team has either been the number 1 seed in the Western Conference or they've made it to the final. Still searching for that coveted star, but they feel like this could be the deepest and most talented squad they've ever had. How is that possible? Well, when you return 15 players of your core group, that gets you started. You bring back 57% of goals that were scored last season, and you add a couple magnificent pieces, like a goalkeeper in Ben Lute, like a striker in Greg Hurst and Claudio Repetto, and that is a recipe for success. Their opposition, Monterey Bay, started back in February 1st of 2021. Frank Yallop, Phoenix Rising may know him, former head coach, takes over. They bring them over from Fresno. They announce their first player. This is not going to be a championship franchise overnight, right? This team is going to step in. It's going to be a growing process. They got to start somewhere. It just so happens to be on the road and the friendly confines of Phoenix Rising.
Well, for the 2nd straight year, a USL debutant will make their debut here at Wild Horse Pass. They will be welcomed to a big crowd and a big opposition. Lineups and first kick coming up next.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
You might have heard of Carvana and that we sell cars online. What you probably didn't know is that we're in the business of making you happy. We believe buying a car should be something that gets you hyped up, that you should be empowered to shop when you want, where you want, wearing whatever you want, and that your new car ought to come with newfound happiness and 0 surprises. So we promise that we'll treat you right, we'll put you in control, and all of us will stop at nothing to drive you happy.
We'll drive you happy at Carvana.
ready to go. Tonight's match presented by Equality Health. Phoenix Rising hosting Monterey Bay FC. Time to take a look at Rick Schantz's first starting 11 for Phoenix Rising.
There's your goalkeeper, Ben Lunt. 10 goals against and 4 shutouts and 9 starts last year for Phoenix Rising. Let's make it permanent. The back four, you got a new name in Babaku Jai on the outside. He likes to fly. Great tactical prowess. Midfield 3. It ain't broke, so we're not changing it. But how about the new number 9? Greg Hurst up top in the striker position, and Marcus Epps comes over from San Antonio FC. This front line really has a lot of talent now. Greg Hurst, back to goal. Anything you want. Pacific Office Automation player to watch.
And a look at the first ever starting 11 for Frank Yallop in Monterey Bay.
Don't even have their full team yet, still working through some things. We said this was going to be a journey, but they have pedigree, right? Starts with Rafa Diaz coming over from Sacramento Republic. Love the leadership you're gonna get out of the back line, especially Hugh Roberts as you start to move through the middle. Plenty of opportunities for these guys to make waves, and of course, Chris Cortez up top.
There is our referee, Kalin Radisov, ready to send us on our way. Here we go. The 2022 season is underway. It's Phoenix Rising in all red, and it is Monterey Bay in their kelp blue tops tonight. The first time we will ever see this Monterey Bay team, and already an early whistle. And it looks like a free kick coming here on the near side, not even 20 seconds in. And some concern here on the near side. Looks like that's Kevin Lambert, who is slow to get back to his feet.
This is just the step through by their number 10, Chase Boone. Watch the high boot as he follows through with his hand. Coming up on Kev Lambert. Quickly back at it. Definitely took the full brunt of that challenge. Right back to work though. Pick your poison here. Right foot of Rodriguez. Silky smooth left foot of Aiden Quinn. Got to be careful if you're the goalkeeper and cannot cheat on that near post.
Arturo Rodriguez sporting that new number 10 jersey, and talking with Rick Schantz, he said, I don't really have a choice in what number he gets, but you know, if he can live up to it, he can have it. It's Aiden Quinn and Arturo Rodriguez who stand around it. This will be Aiden Quinn serving it in, bouncing down, saved, and then tapped in! Not even 90 seconds gone! Manuel Madrid opens the scoring for Phoenix! That did not take long at all!
You listen to the comments coming out of the Phoenix Rising organization. They want precision-like performances each and every time they step onto the pitch. Right away, surgical in their efforts. How about the ball to the back post? Aiden Quinn, put it up, go get it. Almost gets there by Joey Farrell, their own Philadelphia Flyer, but as it comes back across, little redirect, and on the rebound, Manuel Madrid. They don't have James Musa, but the other M steps up, just what the doctor ordered.
A rude welcome to the USL for Monterey Bay as about 90 seconds gone in the second minute. They are already trailing, and that could be a sign of things to come, at least tonight. They will play their first 7 straight on the road before the May 7th opener against Las Vegas Lights, so they will be nomads at least to start, but they will have a beautiful new stadium coming in just a few weeks. But until then, we'll see what the final product can be and whether they can get some results in the meantime. This is not necessarily the easiest place to find one here at Wild Horse Pass, where for the opposition it has not been easy going. And Phoenix, albeit they did lose in penalties last time out in this venue, they did not lose in this venue in 2021. Them and El Paso come into the season with long unbeaten streaks on their home field. There's number 2 in blue. It's Hugh Roberts. He is the captain for this Monterey Bay side, of course, coming over after some time, last 3 years with Mike Jeffries and Charlotte. Here's Arturo Rodriguez. Oh my, off off the crossbar. Phoenix coming out firing.
Easy, gentlemen, easy. 4 minutes in, and this team well-versed in the friendly confines that is Phoenix Rising in their beautiful red kits. They debuted just a few short days ago. Being told that Arturo Rodriguez is on a mission this season. More of that later, but 5 minutes in, almost grabs pay dirt for Phoenix Rising.
Monterey Bay just trying to settle things down in the opening 5 minutes. Phoenix all over Monterey Bay to start. And here's Marcus Epps, big new signing who will slot in on the right side and wearing a familiar number 20 in red for Phoenix Rising this season. Of course, no Solomon Asante. Of course, the heart and soul of this club for the last few years, but stepping into that right winger position will be Marcus Epps. And in talking with Rick Schatz this week, they're very excited for what he can bring, both with his pace and with his skill down this right side.
There are actually a lot of similarities to what we used to see out of Solomon Asante, to be fair, right? And I'm not saying that they're the same player, but the quick change of pace, the long haul that they're willing to put in terms of the shift, marksmanship in front of the goal, would say that the willingness to cut inside is the biggest difference you're going to get between Solomon Asante and Marcus Epps. Marcus Epps, you can play in the middle of midfield, and he has before. So you'll see him invert a lot more, similar to what you see on the left-hand side with Santi Moar. Hard to think that this team has even more weapons now, but as Moar comes in, you get the overlapping runs on the left. You will now see even more of that with King and Epps on the right-hand side.
And there was a touch for Chris Cortez, taken off the ball by Kevin Lambert. And of course, it was Chris Cortez who really lit it up during his time with Phoenix Rising. 76 appearances, 29 goals in league play. A lot of familiar faces on this Monterey Bay side for Phoenix Rising's sake, and Frank Yallop, of course. Dallas J is on the bench as the backup goalkeeper. Chris Cortez. And here's Darnell King, the new captain for Phoenix Rising. Out wide, it's now Epps. Back for Aiden Quinn, who pings this across for Jai. Calmly brings it down with his left foot. Jai, who played a big part in that conference quarterfinal for RGV last year in the playoffs. As we take a look at tonight's injury report, brought to you by Spooner Physical Therapy. James Musett, Niall Dunn miss out on this one. Jiro Bariga Toyama is out for Monterey Bay tonight as well. Ben Lunt, who is, of course, a full-time Phoenix Rising product now, signing the deal just before the season. Slotting in as that #1 goalkeeper here on opening day. Lalo Delgado, the backup goalkeeper on the bench. And plenty of depth on this Phoenix Rising side as Arturo Rodriguez plays this down the wing. It's Roberts who will calmly play it back for Diaz in goal. Epps plays it infield, and Quinn keeps it moving. Ahead for Aiden Quinn. Rodriguez trying to play it back for Quinn. It's still Arturo Rodriguez. King will have to chase this down. He does just keep it in play. All sorts of pressure here from Phoenix Rising. Darnell King playing this long to the far side. Moar off his chest, he went down. Tries to play it from his backside. Maury Donor is there to try to get this clear to throw in for Phoenix. Relentless pressure to start, and more of it coming. Here's Rodriguez for Epps. Epps trying to bring that infield, couldn't get by Grant Robinson. Epps, a bit overzealous, commits the foul.
You got to be very careful here if you're Monterey Bay, not just because of the amount of pressure that you're sustaining, but the shape in general on the inside already proving troublesome for the defensive unit. Chase Boone, Basulovic, Sam Gleadle very tight on the inside. That's got to be a conversation on the sideline for Frank Yallop and his boys. James Murphy, Moby Fair chasing a lot, and the outside being exposed puts a lot of pressure on Grant Robinson. Maury Donor already seeing wave after wave coming from the outside, and that opens up a lot more space on the interior.
Just a look at Frank Yallop there, of course, spending time with his Phoenix Rising team, and of course was the Las Vegas Lights caretaker manager just a few seasons ago after spending time in the Fresno front office. He said to us this week he's more of a tracksuit guy than a suit guy, so he's got his tracksuit on the bench, and he likes to be back in that technical area, and that's exactly where he is.
I can remember when the opportunity was announced that he was going to be the head coach of Monterey Bay, and I said, you know, you were in the front office for Fresno. You sure you never want to go back? Never again. It was a quick and rapid response.
He's a coach.
He wants to be on the sideline, wants to be pulling the strings from there. In his blood, to be fair, he's accomplished so much at so many different levels, both player and coach. Why not here?
Down the line, Phoenix trying to keep this alive. It was Jai all the way to the end line. It does very well to win a Phoenix Rising corner kick. This corner kick brought to you by Carvana, proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising. Carvana will drive you happy. It's Aiden Quinn will play this in short. Now Jai comes in from a different angle. Moar was there, trying to find a bit of a release as the foul is committed, and a free kick for Monterey Bay. And Rick Johnson losing one face on that bench with Juan Guerra going over to Oakland Roots, and we were talking to him about that, and he said we almost have to put in a succession plan for our coaches because of how quickly they're moving out, which is a good problem to have if you're Phoenix Rising.
3 years, you've lost 3 top assistants. Juan Guerra departing, now the head coach of Oakland Roots, doing battle with RGV Toros right now. Blair Gavin, of course, took off to the Columbus Crew, and Peter Rambo back to the native country, Newcastle United U23s. How difficult that is, though, to constantly try and find a way to have success and do it all while you're replacing your brain trust on the sideline.
Here's an early attack for Monterey Bay. Sprawling out was the goal scorer, Manuel Madrid. And it's out for a corner kick. That a little bit more positive from the away side. And also, I'm not sure I had Manuel Madrid scoring the first goal of the season on my Phoenix Rising bingo card, but thus there it is in the 2nd minute. And a corner kick towards the near post. Boone flicks it along. No real threat other than that. This is where Phoenix can thrive, out in the open field in transition. Robinson ends the threat. It's Basulovic. Options in the middle, and they'll slow it down. Out to that far side. Good skill to get by Jai. Now the cross comes in. First shot was fanned on, and now it's just wide from Chase Boone. Boy, that was the chance for Monterey Bay to come back level.
Chase Boone's going to know exactly what it's like to face off against the big bag wolf of Phoenix Rising coming over from San Diego Loyal. How about the moves, though, on the far side by Maury Donor? Right round. Upstart Babaku Jai at the left back spot. Beautiful run to the end line, played back across. That's just early season jitters. That'll come with time and repetitions, young man.
It's been a couple seasons in Denmark. 8 appearances with San Diego Loyal, as you mentioned, in 2021. Foul will end the threat. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at selectsportamerica.com. Select Leagues, choice, player's choice. Nice little flick to play that ahead, but nothing doing, running all the way through for Diaz. After that early onslaught of pressure, it seems like Monterey Bay have been able to settle into things at least a little bit more in these last few minutes. When asking Frank Yallop what it was like to come back and play this Phoenix Rising team, he said, well, we kind of created the monster, and he hopes that this Monterey Bay side can grow into something like Phoenix Rising has the past few years. It's exciting to come into this sort of environment in game 1.
Again, it is going to take some time. It doesn't happen overnight, right? It seems like just yesterday that 2017 squad and the revamp, right? New uniforms, new name, changed things around, started to bring the players in. A la Chris Cortez turned around. Next thing you know, Amadou Dia coming in. Didier Drogba, might have heard of him. I think one of the great things that Frank Yallop has done so well, and unsurprisingly, is he's got such a good blend of different types of talent. And I mean that in the sense of guys who understand so many different systems to play in. Young man on the ball right now, Moby Fair, great with the ball at his feet. James Murphy as well, but they've also been involved with Las Vegas Lights, with RGV, that could really counter quite rapidly. You could make the same argument for Chase Boone, San Diego Loyal. 3rd in the USL Championship over the past 2 seasons with the amount of touches they put on it. And then you get a guy like Sam Gleadle or Basulovic that they've been in the counter-attacking systems, and Basulovic has also kind of stepped on it, slowed it down in OKC. When you have players that understand so many different varieties of ways to play, it makes it simpler because the unexpected can almost become routine. And that's great for a team that's on the road in their first ever match.
And they'll be on the road in their first 7 matches. Frank Yallop, we asked him about that. He said, hopefully we can get a few results before we get back home, but it's going to be an uphill battle, no doubt about it, in these first few games. There's Farrell clipped from behind by Chris Cortez. Fans, be sure to get to Arizona Federal Credit Union to get your Phoenix Rising debit card. It's a great way to support the team, spread the word, and you can score $100 when you get one. And I've got to say, it's still the coolest looking debit card I've seen. Visit arizonafederal.org/Phoenix Rising for more information. Over the top for Epps. Play through that pressure, but only so far. There was space in the middle, and that hit the referee, Kalin Radosov. And Aiden Quinn taking a teaching moment there with Arturo Rodriguez.
You wanted him to spin back out. It was too much of a clogged area. The youngster didn't recognize the space that had come back to the inside. Either that or Aiden Quinn just wanted a little company next to that mullet that he's so kindly grown out in the offseason. I was just
going to ask you about that.
Well, we exchanged some pleasant texts about it. It was styled a little different during preseason, we'll say. But that's a well-manicured mullet. I give it credit. 3 stars out of 3.
Out of 3?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd like a little bit more length on the back end.
Well, then it can't be 100%.
You never go full mullet, Josh.
Oh, trust me, I won't. Here's King putting it in. Diving header to clear it away. Maybe a chance now to counter for Monterey Bay if they go quick. Kai Green up over the top. It's Lambert who's clipped again. Greg Hurst looking to bring this down, gets tangled up with Hugh Roberts. And it looks like the call will go the other way. AR had his flag up. Lambert wondering about that foul back the other way. I wonder if the referee played advantage there at first. Darnell King, the captain, will get the situation explained to him.
I can also explain the fact that even in the modern day that we live in, not allowed to wear excuse me, not allowed to wear jewelry like that.
Oh yeah.
A little tangle up top. I'm sure we'll be seeing that a lot this season. The 9 position was something heavily talked about last year, and moving into the offseason for Phoenix Rising, what'd they do? Went on, got at least 2. Greg Hurst and Claudio Repetto. Hurst from the 2021 USL League One champions, Union Omaha. And Claudio Repetto coming over from the Eastern Conference and the Charleston Battery. Nice little blend up top.
Interesting to see who kind of claims that spot. As Boone plays the cross in, Epps keeps it alive. Another interesting product out of Ghana and Richmond Antwi coming over from Legion Cities FC, 21-year-old. Another Ghanaian coming into the club. There are options up top for Rick Shantz. He may be experimenting with 2 strikers up top, which we haven't necessarily seen from Phoenix the last few years.
The adjustment that would need to be made in times of need is something that he admitted they struggled with over the past couple of years, worked hard in the offseason, even experimented with a 3-back system.
Rodriguez for Epps, early ball in and actually right at Diaz. Scooped up by the Monterey Bay netminder. Last few years with Sacramento Republic, caps with the Dominican Republic national team, experienced shot stopper. It's been much better for Monterey Bay after a pretty frantic start. Another cross served in. Cortez is there, and so is Farrell, the other number 15. It was Cortez who got the last touch on it. It's a goal kick. In a wreck and need a check, go on the offensive with Lerner and Rowe, the official personal injury firm of your Phoenix Rising. Make one call, that's all, to 977-1900. Getting you all the money you deserve is our goal. Past the midway point of this first half. Phoenix Rising the 1-0 advantage through Manuel Madrid, an early set piece. Goal officially in the 2nd minute. The foul came in the opening 20 seconds. Here's Epps moving in field. The overlapping run by Baba Kujar. Another ball served in, looking for Mowar, and this headed away. Jai came back into the play, but the whistle had already come for a foul. chest of Greg Hurst. Gets it now from Rodriguez. Ahead for Moar, an ambitious effort. It's taken by Diaz. First game of the season here at Wild Horse Pass, Monterey Bay. Their first game ever in their first USL Championship season with Devin Kerr. I'm Josh Eastern. And the first game has not been too kind to Monterey Bay. So take a look at the goal scorer in Manuel Madrid for newcomers in the USL over the last few years. 0-7-3. Only San Diego, New Mexico, and Austin were able to get those draws. So history not on the side of Monterey Bay tonight, but chance to grab that first win over the last 11 for newcomers. Of course, Detroit City in action tonight at San Antonio, so not an easy start for either of those teams. Here's Jai. Moar awaits in the middle. Moar got a touch on it. And now he's dispossessed by James Murphy. Aiden Quinn for Arturo Rodriguez. Lambert into the play. And now Hurst, who's down a bit awkwardly, gets right back onto his feet. And now it's Moar that's dispossessed. Well, the tough challenges coming in on the far side. Long switch looking for Chase Boone. Does keep it alive. Immediately turned over. It's Hurst. He's able to find space. Slid back in for Darnell King. And now it's Aiden Quinn. Through for Hurst. Greg Hurst scores! How about a debut goal for Greg Hurst? It's 2-0 Phoenix Rising. Appeals for offside, go for not, and the home side rolling it home.
Get used to it. That's what everybody kept saying when we asked about Greg Hurst coming to Phoenix Rising. Would the goal-scoring ways continue? They said, get used to it. Well done, slight little interchange, and how about this dime by Aiden Quinn? Right shoulder, you're welcome. What a ball to the back post. Beautiful touch to the inside. If he brings this over his right, he's closed down by James Murphy instead. Negative touch in his space, puts it on the left foot, picks out the bottom corner, grabs the second of the night, and his first in a Phoenix Rising jersey. Magnificent on his debut.
Scored 14 goals with Union Omaha, including one in the USL League One final last year against Greenville. And he has scored everywhere he's gone, spending a couple of seasons with Chattanooga Red Wolves as well. And he has made the jump up to the championship, and obviously early returns here in game number 1. His first experience with Phoenix Rising was against the U.S. men's national team. How about that? Just kind of a call saying, we need a forward. Why don't you come on down, give it a try? Hurst came in, and you see him on the field now, which means things have gone well for Hurst. As this is headed out of play by Darnell King, a corner kick upcoming. We've already seen a little bit of what Rick Shantz gave us on the scouting report. He can come back to connect with the midfield, good soft feet, intelligent. Pretty much all of that in that sequence of play. Murphy will take the corner kick, lasered in and immediately headed away. Curled in once again, this time more depth on it. On the turn, the shot is saved. And there's Ben Lutz. First big action of the night for now the full-time Phoenix Rising keeper. Kick save and a beauty. Another corner kick, too far for Cortez. Robinson keeps it alive. Clip back in, Luntz. His tall frame gets up to make the catch. Long distribution. And just trading with the other goalkeeper. Quality Health reminds you that the next time you or a loved one needs preventive or routine care, go to your doctor first. If you don't have a doctor, go to equalityhealth.com to find one near you.
There's another fun one from a tactical perspective. The changeover Phoenix Rising has just made with Marcus Epps and Santi Moar flip-flopping sides. Another added bonus, the acquisition of the man from San Antonio FC, Marcus Epps. The ability to play not just on the cut-in, coming right to left, cutting through the middle, but playing from a starting position on the left-hand side. As we know, Santi Moar, no problem with that whatsoever. To the rich go the spoils, right? Because like every single season, this team continues to pile on the individual accolades, the points, season wins, and more to its arsenal every time they step onto the field.
Pinging this out wide, Moar making the long run. He won't get there as this will run out of play. South End in full voice once again to get this season started. They've been eagerly anticipating this home opener. Another good crowd on hand here at Wild Horse Pass. Trying to play it through the middle for Boone. It's Lambert, he was closed down, and Monterey Bay can look upfield. King will get there first and has to put it out for a throw-in. Cortez. Still Chris Cortez. Cross pinballing around and out for a goal kick. Last off the big striker. Play a couple of games last year with Miami FC. Rick Schantz sure has to like this start for his team, but always a few tactical things to fix.
Stop growing, you start losing. Simple as that.
True.
You can't try and repeat the same thing that you've done every year prior. It's great that you bring back the core group. You mentioned 15 players and 57% of goals. But it's not wash, rinse, repeat. You have to find new ways to reinvent yourself. Can you not only do that, but can you be efficient in those methods? There are very few teams around the USL Championship who have successfully been able to find a way to get results, yet alone do it year after year in a multitude of ways, Phoenix Rising being one of them.
Rodriguez, Quinn continues his run. Top ball there for Diaz. All he can do is put it out of play. You mentioned the midfield being a little bit out of sorts early on, at least, as Diaz caught in no man's land. Centering pass, score! Arturo Rodriguez adds a third, and Phoenix wasting no time, and a little sip with that as well. 3-0 Phoenix.
Man on a mission. Those are the words spoken to us leading up to the first match, that Arturo Rodriguez wants this to be a breakout year, take himself to another level, almost to the point of exhaustion in preseason. Coaches says slow down a little bit, let the game come to you. Well, it doesn't get much simpler than this. Poor turnover playing out of the back by Monterey Bay. Great job on the recognition by Hurst. Not only to get stuck in, but then to slow it down himself, find the trailing runner, his number 10, and their third of the first half.
I think he owes that fan a drink, but he'll take it with a goal. The 2019 USL League One MVP, 4 goals, 5 assists a year ago in his first season with Phoenix. And he is really blossoming into a star in this league, as you can see already on display tonight. And all sorts of trouble for Monterey Bay, but Boone gets this back. Boone cuts back, King goes to ground and wins it for Phoenix. Going through preseason, this Phoenix Rising team did not lose. They beat Tucson, they beat Grand Canyon, they beat Valley United. A couple of draws against Detroit City and Lou City. And they beat Sporting Kansas City by a score of 2-1 as well. And something Rick Shantz was very happy about was some of the academy players that were able to get in and put in some good moments. And he said that's kind of the next step for this team, is to involve the academy a little bit more. So that's a big part of what this team can become.
Well, it is something that they've talked about at length for quite some time. We've seen little glimpses into what could be for the future, some players in and out, and also the addition. You were talking earlier about the supporting cast on the sideline and guys departing. How about the fact that they added their academy director, Andy Chapman, as one of their assistant coaches? So all those young players you're talking about, he's already quite acquainted with. So it's easy the transition to go from the 15s, the 17s, the 19s, and put them with a first team and then give them an opportunity to make a run at something.
Boone slides it in. It's Farrell to clear.
How funny, by the way, you talked about results. This is a team that going into the 2021 season, was it lost 5 out of 6 or lost 6?
They barely won anything. Yeah.
They admitted it. You know, they didn't play well. They were out of shape. They just weren't in sync. And of course, they were singing the same tune, result after result in the 21 season. Beautiful start here by Phoenix Rising so far. Would say that for Monterey Bay, just some silly mistakes. Great play by Phoenix Rising, but it hasn't been all poor from the visitors whatsoever. There's been some real good buildup. They've struggled a little bit in their shape when Phoenix has gone quickly up the pitch. Good moves by Murphy and Fair in the midfield, but you can understand that this team hasn't been together very long. You and I talked about it earlier on a previous match, that many a coach around the league have talked about how difficult it's been to get everybody together, right? That one foot in front of the other is not something that's gone on in a training session, because they haven't all had the ability to train together on a regular basis. Add that to the fact they don't even have all their players. You're looking at 11 on the field, 6 on the bench right now. Truly talented. But it was an uphill battle from the start so far from Monterey Bay, and no favors have been done 38 minutes in.
Frank Yallop said, if you can be strong in the midfield, you'll be successful. And you mentioned a couple of players who can be strong on the ball, but so far Phoenix Rising, they're really all over this Monterey Bay team. Through about 37 minutes, 3 goals. There's Epps trying to play it in field and dispossessed. That's how quickly can Monterey Bay get forward. Right here, not quick enough. Room to work on the right. It's Maury Donor. His first USL game last season with the Halifax Wanderers in the Canadian Premier League. Some time with York 9, also time in Brazil. It was actually an interesting setup in Brazil when he went down there. It was a pay-to-play situation. He didn't end up signing. He had some visa issues, but spent some time in Brazil and then came back to Canada, which is where he's from, in Ontario. Farrell long through the middle, lets this run through. Aiden Quinn on it. Aiden Quinn! Oh! The audacity! And it's 4-0 to Phoenix Rising, chipping the goalkeeper, and it's all turning up goals.
The dime piece that was Aiden Quinn in the 27th minute to Greg Hurst. Favor returned, courtesy of Joey Farrell. What a ball played up over the top, and then the wherewithal, the knowledge, and the downright brute mental strength to even try this, yet alone buried in the back of the net. Beautiful chip up over the top. Could not ask for a better start if you're a Phoenix Rising fan.
Coming off a 6-goal, 11-assist season over 31 appearances. And he gets on the board with his first goal tonight. You can credit that dummy to Santi Moar. Lets that run all the way through. With all these attacking pieces, we haven't even talked about Santi Moar. Led the team with 16 goals, career year for him last year. And they've already scored 4.
Yeah, and his current brag in the locker room at halftime is going to be that was a dummy. That was a missed flick on. I can promise you that.
Okay, all right.
The little bounce in front of him. He was looking to usher this thing back to the corner. Either way, beautiful execution by the boys in red so far. You're just hoping if it's Monterey Bay that they can put a lid on this thing right now, right? Just get to the dressing room, slow it down. Not taking anything away from Phoenix Rising, as all the goals have been spectacular. However, a lot of the buildup, a lot of the mistakes have come to the own fault of Monterey Bay, that as time goes on, you will see them solidify and put really a stamp on those little ones, getting them out of the game where it's not 4-0 heading in the dressing room. Maybe it's only 1 right now.
And this is similar to what we saw with Oakland last year in their first game in the USL.
With every team that's come in.
Oh, of course, but it just happened to be against Phoenix Rising as well. They've, I guess you can say, broken in a couple of teams into the USL.
You and I were on the call for the Indy 11 Loudoun match earlier this evening.
Yep.
And we talked extensively about how, learning your new surroundings, and I'm making reference to Monterey Bay right now and comparing to Phoenix Rising. That Indy 11 squad only had 3 players returning in their starting 11. Phoenix Rising, as you look, now I'm going to include Ben Lunt into this, because although he was a loanee, he did start regularly last year. Basically 30% of the games. The goalkeeper, 3 out of 4 on the back line. Last I checked, that's 4, just doing the math. 7, when you include the midfielders, 8 total. 8. The 11 that are their counterparts on the other side, it's their first ever competitive game together, right? Not a lot of training sessions. He said they came in very late, and I don't care who you are. You can take some of the best players in the world. If you aren't together on a regular basis, the product is different. It's that simple. It takes longer, it takes harder work, and it's not going to come easy. But as we've said a couple of times now, and we don't want to continue to beat the drum, right? But it's a true talking point, because we've seen great success stories come out of it. Oakland roots. Think about how rough that was at the beginning of last season, and yet what did they do? They pulled off arguably one of the biggest upsets in championship history, taking down El Paso Locomotive.
Cross bouncing in. Just eluded Epps, but now it's King! As he lost his balance, putting the shot just wide, and a smile on his face as he gets back in his defensive position. Rodriguez just bossing the midfield at the moment. Moar. There's James Murphy for Monterey Bay.
That's a ball. Excellent ball.
Finds Cortez, who kept himself onside. Cortez took a deflection. Not sure if he was trying to slide that in for Boone or take a shot, but they'll have a corner kick out of it in this final minute of the first half. Here's the in-swinger into a dangerous area. It was King up to meet it. Pardon me, Epps, as he heads it out. As we get into 2 minutes of stoppage time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there'll be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time here in the first half.
I think back to a recent home opener, 2020, the only game played before the stoppage. It was a 6-1 win for Phoenix Rising on that night. 4-match unbeaten streak in home openers, and they've scored 10 in their last 2. So playing Phoenix Rising in their first home game, not a recipe for success for the opposition. I wonder what that halftime team talk is going to be like for Frank Yallop, as they have a rude awakening here. One more chance for Phoenix, and it's Arturo Rodriguez bouncing in for Rafael Diaz. Is there one more chance for Monterey Bay? There is not. The first half has come to a close. Phoenix Rising, 4 goals in the first 45 minutes. They've been all over Monterey Bay in their debut match.
No one told these boys that this was the first game of the season and they weren't supposed to look this good. That's a heck of a debut from the 2022 Phoenix Rising squad in the USL Championship. And against the upstart Monterey Bay, heads held high. Another 45 minutes, just steady your path, take a deep breath. It's a process.
Manuel Madrid got the scoring started. 3 more goals came after that, and they've all been spectacular. It's halftime here from Phoenix. It's Phoenix Rising 4, Monterey Bay 0.
You might have heard of Carvana and that we sell cars online. What you probably didn't know is that we're in the business of making you happy. We believe buying a car should be something that gets you hyped up. That you should be empowered to shop when you want, where you want, wearing whatever you want. And that your new car ought to come with newfound happiness and 0 surprises. So we promise that we'll treat you right, we'll put you in control, and all of us will stop at nothing to drive you happy.
We'll drive you happy at Carvana.
Opie family is in need.
Halftime from Wild Horse Pass. Phoenix Rising 4, Monterey Bay 0. Well, a new season means new kits for Phoenix Rising, and they had their kit reveal in town earlier this week.
I want to introduce your new captain for 2022 and hopefully beyond, Darnell King.
I feel overjoyed. I feel energized by it. I'm super excited for this opportunity to lead these boys. And like I said, man, I repeat it over and over. We're going to go all the way and win this championship this year.
This is amazing. Look at this turnout. You know, this just shows how loyal our fans are and how committed they are to us just in this winning culture and going to win this championship. You know, we love our fans and we're going to show them this year.
Birmingham, and all the goal scorers getting in on the action today. Legion FC, how about that?
Sebastian Doggart from distance, and he drills it! Wow, what a goal!
Goes topics. I mean, yeah, let's talk about today where I'm going to go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What? Birmingham, and all the
the goal scorers getting in on the action today. Legion FC, how about that?
Sebastian Doggart from distance, and he drills it! Wow! What a goal!
It's 4-0 to Phoenix Rising at halftime. What a first 45 minutes it was for the home team. It's time to take a look around the USL and our news and notes. We're getting a look at one of the two debutantes here this evening, Detroit City, the other one going up against San Antonio FC, and a tough start for both of these teams. San Antonio, though, 1-0 win over Detroit, so they hung in there.
Yeah, but how about tomorrow night? USL on ESPN2. Birmingham Legion opens Protective Stadium. Dear Lord, wait till you see this place. Tommy Sohn added some extra firepower up top. They kept their core group of players. Maybe they can repay a little bit of justice, as the Tampa Bay Rowdies have knocked the Legion out 2 out of the last 3 seasons in the USL Championship playoffs. Rowdies, of course, last time out, 3-1 loss to Orange County in the final.
And a look at what this season is going to look like. 34 games, home and away in conference, which I think I like, and I think a lot of people like. What do you say?
No, I like it for sure, especially because we've seen so many different changes basically since 2019, right? It was realignment of conferences. We saw teams go from the East to West and vice versa. Unfortunately, COVID came into play. We saw groups, which we were grateful for being able to have this season. But then divisions, now we're back to where it's supposed to be. Square one, East versus West, and pretty much chalk tonight. Riverhounds on the road, 901 FC. They're banged up at the start of their season. Lou City, their 2 boys, Mushagalusa and Wilson Harris, finding pay dirt. Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, Josh, taking down the reigning champs. Opening game. It doesn't take the title away, though, does it?
It does not.
That's not how it works.
And we had backflips. Mishi Galina had some backflips going for the Switchbacks tonight. And then Oakland Roots, that's a tough place to win, right?
HEB Park, it's the place where dreams go to die. How about the fact that we just saw El Paso Locomotive Sebastian Velasquez Seba coming off in that Sacramento Republic game 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
One of the main players for El Paso Locomotive. Not a good look.
Look at that. We're having some fun on a Saturday night. And they're having a lot of fun at Wild Horse Pass. It's 4-0 to Phoenix Rising. Second half is coming up.
Quick, powerful, relentless. That's truly Nolan. With over 80 years of experience, we are engineered to go after bugs and pests like there's no tomorrow. And for them, there isn't. Because with Truly Nolan, there's no escape. Visit trulynolan.com today.
4-0 to Phoenix Rising as we get set to start this second half. But first, it's time to take a look at our halftime highlights. They are sponsored by Nova Home Loans. You like goals?
Goals win games.
They sure do, and Phoenix Rising scored 4 of them. Here was the first. Manuel Madrid, the first goal scorer of the season.
Greg Hurst with a hockey assist. He hits the initial strike on the save. That's made by Rafa Diaz, but the follow-up. Watch the wave of red attack just pushing through. Center back Manuel Madrid. No James Musa, no problem. Phoenix Rising 1-0.
And they would get a second. And another good build-up here. A lot of quick passing. And eventually it comes through, and it's Hurst just able to keep himself onside.
Nice soft feet was something that Rick Schantz regularly talked about when referencing Greg Hurst. Beautiful ball played through by Aiden Quinn. Just as quickly as it was 1, it was 2, and don't blink because it's about to be 3. Poor play coming out of the back by Monterey Bay. Johnny on the spot, not just Greg Hurst. Got a goal? How about an assist? And Arturo Rodriguez, 3-0, Phoenix Rising.
And a little sip as well as he went to celebrate. But how about one more? 40th minute, and just let the pictures do the talking, Devin.
Yeah,
this is beautiful.
Again, it's another really good ball played in. Was supposed to go into Santimore, actually bounces in front of him, doesn't get to the flick. And then Rude Boy, Aiden Quinn. Beautiful ball to the back post. Beautiful ball scored and chipped to the back post. Phoenix Rising clinical in the opening 45 minutes.
Our Nova Home Loans halftime stats. The only thing Monterey Bay leads in his possession, and Rick Schantz usually okay with conceding possession.
67% of shots hit the target for Phoenix Rising. That's all you got to know about the first half. Regardless of what went in the back of the net, those numbers don't lie. They were very, very, very good. You would never know this was the first game of the season. And if you're Monterey Bay, coming in, Frank Yallop said, this was always about the performance, not the result. They've got 45 minutes to instill some confidence in themselves. That was the talking point in the dressing room at halftime.
Devin's been working on his math during the offseason as well, so you're killing it so far. We are ready to go with Devin Kerr. I'm Josh Eastern. Second half is underway from Wild Horse Pass. Phoenix Rising all over Monterey Bay in that first 45 minutes, but we'll see what we get in this second half. Whether they stay with their foot on the gas or whether Monterey Bay can find that first ever goal. No subs as we get this second half underway. And here's Murphy in the middle. We'll flick along, looking for the run of Basulovic. And back for Ben Lunt. It's a long way back for Monterey Bay, but what are you looking for out of them in this second half?
I'd like to see some of the decision-making cleaned up. That it's a bit troublesome, to say the least, in the first half. Some good build coming out of the back. And really, when they get to the midfield, the likes of Moby Fair or James Murphy, they've had trouble with some of the balls that are being played forward. You know, if you're going to make a mistake, knock it into your opponent's third and let them figure out what to do with it from there. Unfortunately, too many balls right around the center of the park were given away, and it made it much easier for Phoenix Rising to turn and go the other direction. So more communication. Sure yourself up on some of these balls moving forward. They'll be just fine.
Stoner switches the play. The overlapping run by Robinson stays in play as Lunt is able to scoop it up for Phoenix.
Now, the interesting thing tactically, Josh, is they're playing with two holding midfielders, in James Murphy and Moby Fair, but they're really falling into the hands and game plan that is Phoenix Rising, who defensively get into this really impressive shape at times that drops into flat 4 with Kevin Lambert dropping underneath. It can be a wave of 5 as well. And what Monterey Bay is doing is they're actually bumping one of their midfielders higher. So you're not seeing a lot of Murphy and Fair side by side. Instead, it's 1 underneath and then 4 above. And Phoenix just recognizes it. So they pull away from that shape real quick, opens up the space, gives them more opportunities, and because of the pressure, they're able to step in, take advantage of it.
Frank Gallup said the midfield would be a big key to the success of this team this season. Relying on those two players in the middle. Epps trying to move that out wide. Now it's Aiden Quinn in that center circle. And Will Madrid stepping up. More controlled play here for Monterey Bay to start this second half. Murphy making the run up ahead and trying to play that down the line. Now it's out of play. Murphy, another one of those players coming from RGV. Whistle here. A couple players coming together. It's Darnell King with Arun Basulovic. Darnell King wears that captain's armband, and Rick Schott said it could have gone to 4 or 5 different players, but really he was the right man for that. He has the respect of the team. He's also a likable player. He said he's just a great human being. He really loves this club. Obviously standing up for his team right here. Is possessed on the far side. Trying to play that up over the top. Here's Greg Hurst. Fighting through some traffic, and a yellow card will be shown. And this will go to James Murphy. Joey Farrell has a word as well.
Joey Farrell never one to be shy about his dislike for some of the challenges here. Great work by Greg Hurst coming back in. There's the soft feet we talked about in traffic. Little cutback across. James Murphy. There's no malicious intent here. He's trying to come back across and just win the ball. Unfortunately for him, the quick wit of Greg Hurst gets the best of him.
There's Jai. Long over the top for Marcus Epps, and Diaz able to stay in the box and take that opportunity away from Epps. Over the top, and this will be Ben Lunt's ball. Into space for Moar. Long run for Maury Donor, and he plays it back to Diaz, who gets it clear.
Much deeper role here in the second half for Aiden Quinn. No surprise, tendency to slide towards this near touchline. And that wondrous left foot of his, already seen the beautiful goal and assist in the first half. And distributing from the bit more of a restricted area. Kev Lambert sliding higher on that right-hand side, and Arturo Rodriguez really allowed to wander freely at this point in time.
It's interesting you say that about Quinn moving over to this left side at times, because Rick Schant says this team is maybe as balanced as he's ever had here at Phoenix Rising. In years past, they'd favor one side or the other, but maybe able to use both wings equally. And here's Moar getting into the attack now. Santi Moar, and it was Maury Donor coming in defensively.
Good run by Santi Moar. Even better ball by Arturo Rodriguez. Checked the vision, head up the entire way, waited to a perfection. It's that touch right there. Wants it out in front of him, comes across his body just a tiny bit. Magnificent recovery by Donor to get back in front of the path of the Spaniard.
All the way back to Ben Lunt. Quinn through the lines looking for that flick. It's a throw in here at midfield. Another free kick here for Phoenix Rising. This time Chris Cortez getting tangled up. Rodriguez calling for it, and he will get it. Arturo Rodriguez wins a corner kick. I think a drink went flying there on the little tables by that end line. Everybody good for it, some smiles. Oh, he lost his phone. The phone went flying. You gotta be careful with that, right, Devin?
Rodriguez over there trying to pick off happy hour here in the second half.
He already had it in the first half.
Keep the party going. They're running behind on goal average. 10 minutes in.
And now a goal kick. Cintron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand and proud to be the exclusive energy drink partner of Phoenix Rising. If you're ready to energize, visit cintronworld.com and join the vibe on social at Cintron World. Cheers. I think his drink did go because you can see his shirt. It's all wet.
That's a party foul. That's coming out of the contract of one Arturo Rodriguez.
So Arturo owes a guy on one side and now on the other side. Oh, this flipped ahead, but the flag will come up. Let's go back and see what happened here.
How bad was it? Ball back across, little deflection. Right through, absolutely. It's 2 for 1.
Did it land? Oh, went right over his head.
Can over the right shoulder, can over the left shoulder. One on one end, two on the other.
We get our friend a drink, please.
Let's talk to the front office staff, right?
Looks like Monterey Bay preparing some subs. Here they come all the way into the corner. Able to look in field. Gleedle, the cross. Bounces through. There's the shot, and it's right at Lunt. The shot on target, though, for Monterey Bay. Another save for Lunt. Here's Lambert. Long run down the right for Darnell King. Up ahead for Epps. Moar and Hurst are waiting. Couldn't find either of them. Kai Green slid in. put it out of play, and a couple of subs will be made here for Monterey Bay. It will be Adrian Revelar, Sekou Kone. Sam Gleadle as one of those players coming off. The Englishman goes about 60 minutes.
Substitutions for Monterey Bay FC entering the match.
This will be the pro debut for Adrian Revelar, the Cal State Monterey Bay product. The other one coming off is Chris Cortez. Get a small applause as he makes his way off. First game at Wild Horse Pass, and the number 9 for Monterey Bay, Sekou Kone. Spent time with Frank Yallop at Las Vegas a few years ago. There's Epps. Aiden Quinn. Karjai lets this run through for Moar. And Moar able to win it back. Moar trying to slide that to the top. And now a counter-attacking chance. Vasilovic will lead the break. Kone had to get himself back on side. Sliding
Watch
challenge.
Out. Easy.
And Darnell King might be in some trouble here. Looks like it's just a yellow card.
I've seen more given for less here, Josh. Coming all the way back across. He pulls out of it, which is the good thing. Initial viewing angle that we had looks studs up the entire way. You see him pull out of it though, and so he does connect, but it's just on the shins. And taking it lightly, Class on the backside. Apologizes to Chase Boone, yellow card earned rightfully so.
This one curled in. And looking for that centering pass. Instead, it just goes straight out of play. If you can't watch the match, you're on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the app. Who's the lucky first guest going to be?
Hey, here's the problem. If I told you...
Oh my God, here we go again.
No, listen,
right.
I'll give you a hint.
Hold that thought. We got a couple substitutions. There will be Joey Calistri coming on. He will replace Marcus Epps. So Phoenix Rising debut in the books for number 20. And it will also be Claudio Repetto coming on. The Italian will make his Phoenix Rising debut tonight.
For Phoenix Rising, entering the match, number 21.
And Greg Hurst will also make way. A goal and an assist. And here was when he got on the score sheet.
27 minutes, ball to the back post. Greg Hurst, right, left, hits him with the 1-2 step. Phoenix Rising up 2-0, cruising. Have to imagine the way that he performed over the course of his 61 minutes tonight. His goal, his assist, we will be seeing plenty more of that come 2022.
Repetto coming over after a strong season with Charleston Battery, 24 appearances, 9 goals. He played his college soccer local to Charleston at Coastal Carolina. There's Boone. Boone will slide this through. The shot comes on. It's deflected out. And a corner kick upcoming for Monterey Bay. Another ball curled in. Still the center back's up there. Robinson will keep this alive for Revelar. On the turn, now the shot is fired wide. As you were saying, though, the hint. You don't have to. Don't feel pressured.
I'll give you a hint. It's no player, coach, or front office member from a USL Championship team.
Oh, wow.
And if I told you who it was, I would be giving away a big secret.
All right, then you know what?
Big secret.
Tune in on Tuesday at
Massive
7.
news coming.
Oh, boy.
Big news.
Woo!
It's the best I can do without.
All right, hey, no,
you know.
that's a tease. I'm here for it. There's Aiden Quinn and Babu Karjai. Arturo Rodriguez up over the top. Quinn wins the second ball, and now Lambert. Into space down the right. Comfortable approach for Phoenix in this second half, and I'm sure those two players that just came on for Phoenix looking to make an impact. Same too with those that came on for Monterey Bay. Down the line into that wide position, it's King, and it's Roberts who puts it out of play. It's a Carvana corner kick upcoming for Phoenix Rising. Aiden Quinn stands over this one. The in-swinger is Roberts to clear it away. Only as far as Jai. Jai still chasing after it. He's whistled for a foul.
This has been a fun little matchup here on the left side for Phoenix Rising, right side for Monterey Bay FC. Maury Donor taking a liking to the outside back for Frank Yallop, the Ontario native you mentioned, coming over from Halifax Wanderers in Canada. Had some bright moments in the first half that have funneled over here to the second. You're dealing with Babacar Jai, Sansi Moar, the overlapping runs that seem to come every angle from Phoenix Rising. It's a lot to handle. Gunner's done well for the most part. Just don't mention the Aiden Quinn chip and you'll be just fine. Look, it's locker room material now, but it'll be a fun joke later when they start to head in the right direction. Even when you watch, Josh, you do see some impressive play here and there.
King taking no chances, concedes a corner kick. Murphy will curl this in, going back post. And a whistle will end the threat before anything gets started. King making the long run down the right. He won't get there. More time on the ball here for Monterey Bay. Rebel Donor on the overlapping run. Moby Fair curls it in. Immediately denied by Joey Farrell. Phoenix always looking for more. This down the line. It doesn't stay in play. Things have definitely slowed down in the second half after a fiery start to this one. Just 2 minutes in, it was Manuel Madrid to open Phoenix Rising's goal scoring account in 2022. Goals just kept on coming from there. But nothing yet in this second half. Sulovic. Donor moves it down the line. Rebel knocked out of play. It's a throw-in coming. Substitution coming, and it is Walmer Martinez, the El Salvador international, who will come on for Chase Boone. 19 caps, 2 goals for Walmer Martinez, including quite a few appearances for Hugo Perez in World Cup qualifiers so far this year and last. He spent last year with Hartford Athletic, some time with Des Moines Menace as well in his previous years. He finds himself back home in his home state of California with Monterey Bay, his first appearance for his new club.
You take a look at the numbers that he put up for Hartford Athletic in 2021. A lot of people might look at it and wonder why he was the club's first ever signing. Outside of talent, he did a really good job last year, even though statistically it may not show it. Back and forth, as you mentioned, between domestic play with Hartford Athletic and internationally with El Salvador men's national team. There was a pretty impressive fluidity of play coming in and out of both of those camps where he didn't really miss a beat. So although the numbers may not necessarily tell the story, he's a good signing for this club and a good person, more importantly. That's something we constantly heard at Hartford Athletic, was how hard he was willing to work and what a good person he was off the pitch. That's the representation that Monterey Bay is looking for.
That's what Frank Gallup told us. He said, we're looking for, obviously, need to have the ability, but we also want guys with good character. We look across this team, and there is plenty of good character across the board. Starts with their captain and Hugh Roberts, a good leader, of course, the last few years with Charlotte Independence. Marie Donor can't get there. It's a goal kick. A good attendance here tonight at Wild Horse Pass. 8,409. Always a good crowd here at Wild Horse Pass. Another one here tonight. And they're trying to get the wave going.
You a Wave fan?
I'm gonna get myself in trouble with this.
Were you?
Not particularly.
Whoa, that's un-American.
Oh, what do you mean it's un-American?
It was established here in the United States. It's un-American.
Do you know where it was established?
Oh, Seattle?
Correct.
I remember, 30 for 30 on the Wave.
Is there?
It's a short story. It's not a true one.
Yeah, it was established at Husky Stadium.
Look at that.
People always say though it's like the Mexican Wave. It's from Azteca on on the volley. Nothing doing there. Bouncing into the arms of Diaz.
So not only do you know what it is, you're against it, and it's from your home. It's from your hometown.
I just don't love it.
That's against.
But you know what, fans? If it makes people happy, I'm all for it. How about that? Is that fair enough?
Painting on both sides of the easel now, huh?
Exactly. Exactly. A man of the people, Devin.
Fair enough. One of us has to be.
Do you like the wave?
I'm a wave fan. I get involved.
You're a
in
wave
it.
fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do the one arm, double up.
Whoa.
Got to get up out of the chair.
Are you the guy that starts the wave, though?
No.
No. Okay. No. You're a follower. That's good.
I do have the liquid courage to get involved when necessary.
I wonder where the wave emanated from tonight, though. Was it the south end starting it? The north end? Where are we going, you think? That's the big question. Here's Maury Donor getting into the attack. Jai sliding in and getting that one cleanly. Another substitution coming for Phoenix Rising. It will be Luis Manuel Saijas, Venezuelan, coming on for Arturo Rodriguez. A great start to this 2022 season for Rodriguez.
27th minute, Greg Hurst proved that he could take it. 6 minutes later, he can dish it as well. Great ball played across to Arturo Rodriguez. That trailing run, the late number 10. Starts the party early. Sticks that one into the back of the net. That would be 3. They would make it 4 before halftime. It's been on cruise control ever since. Beautiful start for the 23-year-old in Phoenix Rising.
Third substitution of the night for Rick Schantz. Still 2 available in 1 more window as we get into the final quarter of an hour. Whistle and a foul. It's a free kick coming for Monterey Bay. They still look for that first goal. Here's Basulovic. Ben Luntz able to make a pretty straightforward catch. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. Jai stepping in again.
Any scores surprise you today?
Loudon.
Loudon's score was surprising.
Not expecting Loudon.
I would say this. The 1-0 win, no, I didn't expect it, but it's not overly surprising. For me, it was the performance overall by Indy.
Maybe that's
probably more fair,
yeah.
right?
But bad conditions, tough conditions, single-digit temperatures, windy. What stuck out to you?
3 red cards out of the first 4 matches.
Here's a header, it's in! It's the first ever goal for Monterey Bay, Sekou Kone. There's something to celebrate for Monterey Bay. It's 4-1.
We may have seen 3 red cards in the first 4 matches, but this is just seeing red all the way by Kone. This guy was one of the heir apparents in the Philadelphia Union organization next to Corey Burke back in 2017. Great striking duo, and you can see why. He's got a knack for goal, good run to the near post, and that's just brute physical strength in his 6'2" frame redirecting into the back post.
Here's Quinn. Trying to turn the corner, get the cross in, looking for Repetto, and it's cleared away. Good catch by a fan on the first row. So there's something to celebrate for Monterey Bay. Jai goes down, this ball runs out of play. This has been much better for Monterey Bay in this second half. As we've been saying all night long, it's going to take time for this team to come together. But that is no doubt a moment to celebrate.
There's some very decent players on this team. I do like the pairing of James Murphy and Moby Fair. Have to find a way to make sure you have a quality presence on the inside that's a bit more consistent. Arun Basulovic has been good on the ball throughout courses of the night. Unfortunately, at certain points in time, just the wrong decision making. That's really the story to be told for Monterey Bay this evening. Maury Donor is something that you want to keep an eye on. That's a young man at the outside back spot for Monterey Bay. Never present on this right-hand side. A lot to do, matched up against Santi Moar.
Here is Moar, and there's Donor stepping in again. Canadian getting it done at right back.
And again, they haven't been together very long. So it's a process no matter what. But when you've got a group that's only been together for a couple of weeks, 3 max, you don't even have the full group. What you're seeing now, not only personnel-wise, but the actual product that's being put out on the field, it's going to look very different a few months' time.
Here's Donor looking for Revelar. Here's Revelar with space. This hits this cross as it bounces all the way across and out of play. On the turn, Saihas. And now Aiden Quinn. 9 minutes to go in this opener for Phoenix and Monterey Bay. Lead through the middle for Kone. It doesn't get easier for Monterey Bay going forward. A trip to Colorado Springs next Saturday to take on Switchbacks FC. As for Phoenix Rising, it's never straightforward when you go to Las Vegas to take on the Lights. That's what they'll do next week, their lone trip to Cashman Field. Last time they were there, they scored 6. Played through the middle, Repetto making the run. It was Kai Green sweeping in, and now Roberts coming over. Threat not gone. Falls in for Santi Moar, and it's Donor again from behind. Second or third time he's taken away a big chance for Santi Moar. Vasulovic. Creative man in the midfield for Monterey Bay. Revelar. Sending this down the channel. Now turning back. Sulovich off the crossbar. Oh, that was a great angle at it from our camera position. It looked like it had eyes for that top corner. A really good chance there for Monterey Bay's number 17.
They've got the quality. Problem is it's a bit further behind right now. Bright lights, big city, and upper corner. That sort of glory we have seen out of Basulovich in the past. Remember, Red Bull product for good reason. There's no denying the quality on that strike.
Donor and Mohar have been going at it all night. As Ryan Flood will come on for his 2022 Phoenix Rising debut. Strong showing from Santi Mohar tonight. There will also be Channing Chaston coming on for his pro debut. Product out of Queen Creek, Arizona, and Ohio State University. He will come on for Darnell King.
Also entering the match.
High praise for Channing Chaston from Rick Johnson. Our chat with him this week. He says he's more of a right winger, but he's been spending a lot of time at right back, and he's been impressive. That's also Jesse Maldonado coming on for Moby Fair for Monterey Bay. The youngster Maldonado, 19 from nearby Chandler, Arizona. Went to Hamilton High School, Yavapai College, where he scored 11 goals in 14 appearances. He's actually spotted at a combine here in Arizona, was signed on the spot by Frank Yallop.
Like something he saw, didn't he?
Sure did.
Not every day that.
It's cool to make your pro debut in your home state, home city.
The great Frank Yallop puts eyes on you and says signed, sealed, delivered. I do like the story of Channing Chaston, though, at the right back spot, how maybe more of an advanced role under Brian Mazanoff at Ohio State University for the Buckeyes. Super quick, though. Made reference to Junior Flemings and Marcus Epps, who, Phoenix Rising fans haven't gotten a big taste of it so far, but they know what Junior Flemings was like. Could absolutely fly both with and without the ball. And that if he can start to figure out transitions, the timing, the system, put it all together, said over time he will develop his own style and easily could see him picked up at a higher level. And quality talking points for the rookie.
There's Maldonado, and he wins a corner kick. It'll be an in-swinger, played in low. Rebelar got the first touch to it, keeps it in play. Murphy now, once again, headed down by Kone. Appeal for handball. Stays with it. Kick save. Still not cleared. A big chance here for Monterey Bay. They score again. And it's Adrian Rebelar. His first pro goal and his first pro appearance. It's 4-2.
It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. And Phoenix Rising staff is going to be frustrated with all of the second, third, and fourth chance opportunities being given up here. A lot of boys in red jerseys standing around Barbara Kujari in the near post, although he gets the first touch off. Look at the lack of effort on the backside. Great job by Monterey Bay to continue to persevere through the defensive front that is Phoenix Rising. They pull another one back.
A local product, Adrian Rebelar. Here's another cross coming in. It's quickly cleared away. Played his college soccer at Cal State Monterey Bay for the Otters, which is the stadium in which Monterey Bay will be playing this season when it's finished and renovated. Cardinal Stadium. Of course, just a beautiful part of the country. Watsonville, California. That's one to remember, no doubt. Saijas tries to turn the corner. It's out for a corner kick. It's a Carvana corner kick for Phoenix Rising. Curled in. Initial header was there. Here's Calistri. Let's get on that right foot. He goes down, stays with it, and wins it back. Here's Flood. He always likes to hit one. Was through traffic and deflecting out for another corner kick, and emotions running hot here at the end.
Joey Calistri didn't like what he felt like was an ill-timed challenge at the top of the box. The goalkeeper, Rafa Diaz, came sprinting out, and then it was just a melee right at the top of the 18. Hugh Roberts calming the tensions in the heated desert air. Can't say Monterey Bay has been streaking back, but a much better second half performance. They've been rewarded for their efforts. 2 goals, one just a few short minutes ago. Trying to settle his boys down here, maybe grab one more as Trent Robertson got involved as well.
And it looks like we're just good to carry things on. No cards as we get into stoppage time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes of added time here in the second half.
Flip to the end line. Quinn couldn't keep that in play. Goal kick, 4 minutes at the end of the 90. A lot of credit to Monterey Bay for sticking with it in this game. Down 4-0, have fought back to make it 4-2, and I'd say they won the second half. No goals for Phoenix in the second 45. As Lambert kicks that away, and that's going to be a yellow card for time wasting. That's not one you want him to take.
Caution has been issued to Phoenix Rising number 27.
It's driven forward by Murphy. Roberts puts it in the middle, and he is whistled for a foul. Thank those of you for tuning in on Bally Sports Arizona tonight. Exciting news for the club that you can watch all your games locally on Bally Sports, as well as ESPN Plus as well. Here's Maldonado for Monterey Bay. Kone. Still Sekou Kone. He goes to ground, now a chance comes, and it's sailing wide, and Kone in a bit of pain.
Not necessarily the way that Monterey Bay wanted their inaugural game in the USL Championship to go. You had to have a good idea that it was always going to be finished off in some sort of spectacular fashion by Phoenix Rising, not necessarily knowing it was going to be 4 in the first half. Good test of character, though. Well done for them to battle back and grab 2. 1 down, 6 more to go. Colorado Springs, Oakland, Sacramento, El Paso, and Los Angeles Galaxy 2 before they make their way, and San Antonio before they make their way back home on May 7th.
None of those will be easy tests.
Phoenix has an interesting slate of games as well. Home and away, first 4, including road trips to Cashman, Toyota Field, Las Vegas Lights, San Antonio, Sandwich, San Diego Loyal in between. A little derby on April 16th, New Mexico United. Then the East-West starts. Miami FC comes to town and Wild Horse Pass on April 23rd.
Sekou Kone standing over this. Might he have a look at goal here? Kone right at Lunt. He was able to catch that right in the middle of the goal mouth. But Kone wins it back right away. And this put out of play. We're through the minimum of 4. How much longer will Kalen Radisov let this go? No more. That is it. The inaugural match of Monterey Bay goes the way of Phoenix Rising. 4-2 winners to open up the season. It was 4 goals in the first half for Phoenix. Monterey Bay battled back for 2, and 2 very good friends dug it out at the end. But Phoenix victorious. Here's Aiden Quinn. He is tonight's man of the match, presented by Phoenix Children's Hospital. Really impressive performance, and the chip goal was probably the best of the bunch tonight.
He was excellent, close to 85% passing accuracy for Aiden Quinn. The goal, the assist, pretty spectacular fashion as well. Quality start for Phoenix Rising, not the way that they wanted to end this performance, but 4 goals to your name. The Western Conference Wonders back at it again.
It got hot and heavy in this one. Some words exchanged, some drinks spilled, but in the end, it's Phoenix Rising. 4-2 winners. Stay with us. We'll wrap it up right after this.
Pacific Office Automation is the one source for all of your business technology. Copiers and printers, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, security systems and cameras, complete conference room packages. You need to partner with a total office solutions provider that gets it. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved.
Fans come out to the Thirsty Lion in Chandler Saturday, March 19th for our watch party to support Phoenix Rising as they take on Las Vegas Lights.
Back to wrap things up, our full-time highlight sponsored by Nova Home Loans. 2nd minute, this is when the goal scoring got started. Manuel Madrid gets the opener.
Hadn't even taken their seats. Neither had Monterey Bay. Phoenix Rising had, though. They got comfortable real quick. Manuel Madrid stepping in for James Musa. 1-0 Phoenix Rising. Let's keep the party going. Good little interchange. Drop down in by Hurst. Back out to Rodriguez, who had rotated out of the pocket. Aiden Quinn says thank you very much. Greg Hurst says, you are most welcome, opens his scoring campaign. 7 minutes later, stop me if you've heard this before, Greg Hurst, how about the work ethic? Talk about the soft beat, but the guy had a motor, pushed himself in on the turnover. Rodriguez, yes please, bartender, double. 3-0 Phoenix Rising, and just before halftime, let's add some insult to injury. Joey Farrell Wines, dines, serves up dishes, and Aiden Quinn, yeah, he does the dishes too. Little dessert for the back of the net. 4-0 Phoenix Rising. That's all she wrote, right? Absolutely not. Maury Donor, good ball to the back post. Sekou Kone, 4-1. Josh, they're back in it.
Or so we thought. They would run out of time, 87th minute. They'd get one more chance, and they would put this one away. Adrian Revelar, his pro debut, able to score, make it 4-2. That would be all she wrote. Just able to put that top net, and that's how it ends. Our Nova home loan stats. It actually evened out in terms of shots, and Monterey Bay played a really strong second half.
They weren't terrible in the first half either. Again, I go to the poor mistakes that were self-imposed. Let's clean some of that up. That's definitely what Yallop says. They come into the second half, that gets a little bit better. Again, there was never going to be a victory coming out of Monterey Bay tonight. However, a lot of positive talking points. You take that, go back to square one, compound that together, and find the stepping stones for week 2. They'll be just fine down the stretch.
So that'll do it. The home opener is in the books for Phoenix Rising, and they come out with the full 3 points. For our entire crew, Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Phoenix, and we'll talk to you again soon. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.